Hello, right, my name is Steve Monkey Mason, ba-bang, right there. Not going to have a massive long intro like Deadwood, because this is the review rant random for Deadwood. Okay, once upon a time when we had good old big box VHSs that would come out in like 3 parts, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, part 1, then part 2. Then you used to wait 6 months in between. I've never been a big fan of TV shows, like catching them up, like Brittany's watching Emmerdale in the other room, like, shh, Jodie might come back. But like, no, it's not. As I say, I normally don't watch them, and then it takes somebody to come along and spoil them. So I normally discover TV shows in my own time. I've just had a drink of root beer in the last video right at the end, and it's gone right at the back of my throat, so excuse me. Even root beer, probably given us the Deadwood thing. Right, so anyway, I tried watching Deadwood years ago, and I never got to lend part 2 off my friend at the time. And then there's a couple of times I really bought it because I remember enjoying it. Now I'm a massive fan of Timothy Olyphant, and a couple of years ago I discovered Justified, and it's the only TV show I've ever binge watched up until now. But totally binge watched all, I think 5, 6 episodes. Justified, love it, absolutely love it. Even Quentin Tarantino must be a big fan of Deadwood, since Timothy Olyphant is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Waldo Woggins is in Hateful Eight. For loads of people just love that, and I says, right, I'll get back to Deadwood, and I picked it up, and it'll be on the channel. It came along, got it Zoom Blu-ray, and I wonder why it's never been widely available, and it's because the first disc on Blu-ray, the last 2 episodes of the first disc are out of sync to fuck. Been my go-to. So I finished the X-Files, I watched The Surface, and decided to watch Deadwood, and I love it. I'm that much into it that it'll put me to sleep every night without fail. I'll be lucky if I see one episode. I mean, that's what I want. And now, like, watch a lot of movies while I'm editing. That's why I do the good, the bad, and the what the fucks. And then TV shows is sort of my nighttime thing now, bed. But I've got to have it. It's got to be done. And I've absolutely loved Deadwood. Now, me and Matty Connor are a massive fan of both Justified and Deadwood. And Matt's been going, have you seen the movie yet? Have you seen the movie yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. And I started watching it. Love the intro. It's a bit epic. I wondered why Jeffrey Jones didn't get name checked in the first season, because there is some big cast in this, and like Jeffrey Jones going into it was quite a big cast. Ferris Bueller, Beetlejuice, Howard the fucking Duck, but obviously he's had a bit of a controversy the last couple of years, and I ain't going to mention what. But his name starts appearing in the second season anyway. Leon Ripley is in this, who is the bad guy in Cuffs, also appears in a lot of Roland Emmerich's films. Timothy Olyphant, and for some reason the guy who plays Wild Bill, if you're watching the Blu-ray, his face keeps appearing, even into season 3. It's like, there he is, he's definitely dead. But there's loads of random cameos. There's even a guy, he's got one eye, who shoots Bill actually, spoiler alert, who I believed it was the same guy who comes back and starts slitting all the prostitutes, well, let's call it for what they were, the whores at the time, throats. And I was like, is that the same guy? I was even on IMDb. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, that's definitely the same guy. And when I IMDb'd him again, it is the same guy. So the guy, like, kills himself or gets suicided. There's loads of people popped up in the Deadwood movie, even there's cameos, even of the word dead. So we'll get to the movie in a minute. But yeah, I loved it. I loved how close it was. It already sits. A couple of bits and pieces happen outside the area, but it's all about prosperity. It's all about, like building stuff. I mean, it's very, I would say the show, one thing the show does, it's never left on cliffhangers. I don't think it just stops. Plays a different track every time. A lot of stuff really happens about 3/4 of the way through the episode where you're like, fuck. I'm watching Gotham at work. I'm on season 3 of that. And that always ends up on a cliffhanger. This doesn't. Sort of just moseys on to the next episode. Some brilliant actors in this. Brought in a few big hitters, like Powers Booth comes into this. As I say, you don't know where it's going. You get shocks, there's turns. You're going to say cocksucker for absolutely ages. The scenes with Ian McShane and Mr. Wu are fucking brilliant. Cocksucker. Fucking brilliant. It's funny, It's brutal, it's violent, it really paints a picture. Now, David Milch, was the creator of this, and he poured his heart and soul in the documentary about it. Shows you how much he had in there. And they get around about the third season. Now, personally, I think the third season really started to get a bit, where are you going with this? You know, and I was like, ugh, I mean, knowing that there wasn't a fourth season. And then it got cancelled. But up until it got cancelled, it was, as I say, it had some funny bits in. It was well cast. It was a massive support cast. I mean, Brad Dourif's in this, who's the voice of Chucky. Timothy Olyphant really held it good. Oh, his fucking mate is in. There's a couple of people who are in Identity in this, especially the Mad Killer and then the hotel owner. And there's people that pop up like the last from Heroes, Kristen Bell, maybe she's in it. You think, all right, and then she got fed to the pigs. But there's loads of like cameos, and I'm sure a lot of these people went on to appear or work on Justified. Seems to be what followed after this, but absolutely loved it. Cocksucker. But even like, it's fucking not scared because they're all about the guy who fucks the horse, and then there's like, it shows you like how, like, you know what I mean. It's not scared to go, right, this is how it was, and like that's how it is. I think that's what's really good about Deadwood. But it ends with Ian McShane rubbing the blood of the floor to the new threat. And I didn't really see him as much as a threat. It's all like, I like the idea of like coming out the balcony and seeing what's going down, and like the whole stuff that's happening in the mind, and like who's on whose sides, and the whole train going around there, and you know, like I was calling Montana for ages. But like the people who come in and like want to prosper and want to prospect, and there's some really funny guys. Even is it Richardson who keeps praying to the dear God. So yeah. So unlike everyone who had to wait 10-15 years for the Deadwood the movie, because the Deadwood got axed bang, and unfortunately David Milch, what did I say his name wrong again? Unfortunately, he's had a few medical problems since then, and isn't in the capacity to there. But his dream about wrapping it up, and HBO have honoured this, and Timothy Olyphant and Ian McShane have executive produced this. They've brought everyone back together. So for me personally, seeing the last episode to then boom, here comes the movie, is a TV movie. It should be. It's great because it flashes back to what you need to know, and then you get to see everyone come back looking a bit older. Everyone's at risk because this is like the send-off. Unlike the X-Files where it hit big and then they've done a second part of an event series, Deadwood's been left perfect. And the whole group's got together and made this work so well. Everyone come back just a little bit older. People, you go, oh, is it that? Oh, there we go, the cameo. Then you'll be, well, where's he? And they look at like babies, oh, he's dead. Like, I didn't, Powers Booth, dead. Richardson, the guy who plays the goat, dead. I was like, oh, that's a shame. Because he was really funny. And, as I say, with it's just like one of those things with the movie, man. It was just like, this is really good. But it just wrapped up everything, you know, this, the Trixie, the wedding. The wedding was like 10 years late, but, and then it started to snow, and, you know, bygones be bygones, Ian McShane saying farewell, you know, and stuff like that. So, no, it was good to go from, like, finishing it to seeing it, for all the people who waited and made it happen. It's unbelievable. It's what fan support should be. One of the last ones I watched, Surface, was just like bang. And if you watch me review, I'm like, right, Waterworld happened. Because like, when a TV show is released and it says the complete collection and it's not going to ending, it shouldn't be the way. Deadwood came out the complete collection. It's 3 seasons, so there you go. But the Deadwood film isn't in it. The Deadwood film now needs putting into that box set and go, right, the complete collection. And that's the way it should be. See you in the outtakes. So, Justified is on the thing. If you want to talk about Timothy Olyphant, perfect getaway mid-film. But no. I just love the score. I loved the score. There's so many things to take in. The episodes felt really long sometimes. Sometimes they felt really short. I would always wake up and be black text and be, oh shit, what did I miss? But I would always make sure I'd skip back and get it. So that's one of the things you're like, oh, I don't want to miss an episode, I don't want to miss a thing. But yeah, it's been good. Justified's on the card for revisiting. Tried revisiting Penny Dreadful, and I was like, ugh. And don't get us wrong, I'd seen the first. I think I'd seen the first series of Penny Dreadful. Master, give me fucking nightmares. And then I discovered Justified, and then I binge watched Justified, because Justified's finished, the complete collection, done. And then the other night I put Penny Dreadful season 2 on, and the TV show actually gave a massive recap to the original, which was good, alright. But no, it was no Deadwood, unfortunately. I am totally going to miss Deadwood. I think the box sets I haven't opened are like Mork and Mindy. I need to revisit Land of the Giants. We've got Preacher up there, but I haven't got the final series, so yeah. Justified, man. Absolutely class. Cocksucker! Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
And now